And showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup. A look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I'm executive editor of the ChannelPro Network, also a co-host of this program. I am joined this week, as I am every week, by your other co-host, Eric Simpson, a business transformation and improvement advisor to MSPs and other IT providers. Eric, how goes it?
Goes pretty well, Rich. Feeling good, feeling good this week. Ready to look forward to hopefully what appears to be some live events that you and I may be both attending and maybe podcasting from in October.
Indeed. In the weeks ahead, and you know, there was DataCon, a pretty major event, is only going to be virtual. They made that decision within the last few days, but you and I are both going to be at the Kaseya Connect IT show next month in Las Vegas, and we are both going to make our way directly from that to the Acronis CyberFit Summit, so you're speaking at the Kaseya show. I'll just be covering that, but we're both actually speaking at the Acronis show. And as we were discussing off the air, we're sort of relearning the intricacies of arranging a trip like that, where we're not, at least I'm not going home in between those two events, and getting around, getting the hotel rooms right and everything. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah, gotta relearn those muscle memories, right? So I'm in the same boat. I will not be making a pit stop home between those events. So yeah. And, you know, it will be the first time for me getting out in front of a large crowd. So just, you know, looking forward to everything going as planned. And, you know, we'll keep you all posted as things develop.
All right. Well, I think you're going to enjoy it. But like you said, more on that next month. For now, let's get to our top story this week, which comes to us from Citracom. Citracom, of course, is a unified communications as a service provider, specifically for MSPs and their clients. But they're in the news this week because they have made an acquisition, which in and of itself is unusual for them. They haven't been active in the mergers and acquisition market, but they went out and bought a secure access service edge, a SASE vendor that specializes in connectivity and security, named OmniNet. Now, if you've been around on the channel for a while, you might remember a company called My Digital Shield, which began as a unified threat management vendor based on the cloud. They added a software-defined wide area networking product around about 2017 and rebranded as OmniNet. You put those two products together and you get what OmniNet calls optimized clean internet. Essentially, you get a SASE service. And so Citracom, a company that, again, is in the voice market, is now in the connectivity and security market as well. And they did this for two reasons. So first of all, they found that as they looked at the statistics around their technical support calls and so on, that a lot of the support calls they were handling had to do with the network. You know, if you are an MSP trying to deliver VoIP services to your customers, there's a lot of firewall configuration you have to do. Getting that right can be challenging. Even if you figure out how to get it right once, you got to keep doing it for all of your customers. So buying their own SASE platform and integrating it with their VoIP platform, as Citracom has already done, enables them to basically eliminate those headaches. So, you know, out of the box, effective today, the OmniNet platform recognizes Citracom traffic, detects it when it sees it, prioritizes it automatically. All the stuff that you might have to tweak manually is just taken care of for you in the cloud. But the other appealing thing about the OmniNet platform to Citracom, of course, is that because it is a cloud-based connectivity and security solution, it's actually a pretty handy answer to the problem of securing work from home employees, something that a lot of MSPs have been struggling with. And from Citracom's standpoint, not a lot of vendors have been dealing with effectively. And so, yes, on the one hand, buying OmniNet enables Citracom to do what they've been doing more effectively, more easily for their partners. It also, though, moves them into an entirely new market, essentially the security market, where they believe now they have a very easy to acquire, easy to implement, easy to run answer to the problem of, in a sense, in essence, extending the security perimeter beyond the home office to all those home offices that people are working from right now. So an interesting acquisition for Citracom.
Very interesting, very strategic, solves a big pain point. I speak from experience, a former quote unquote recovering MSP. I went through all those pains and challenges, trying to deliver voice over IP solutions to multiple clients and having that whole nightmare of provisioning and bandwidth and optimizing and prioritizing and all that, especially between multiple locations with different, bandwidth providers and all kinds of craziness. It was really, really a headache, to deploy and maintain, good call quality between these locations. Now, granted, this was years ago, Rich, so I'm aging myself, but I think from a positioning, from a messaging, and from a delivery and service efficiency perspective and customer satisfaction perspective, it's going to be really appealing to MSPs that maybe were using other solutions that didn't have this kind of functionality and going through that struggle, or have simply tried doing VoIP, because I've seen that a lot too. And I'm not dealing with that at all, right? And not even promoting it to their clients. So this could open up new revenue streams, excuse me, for partners as well. So very, very interesting, and not something that you probably would have looked at and predicted, Citracom to be looking for this. And I also understand that it was one of those decisions where they thought it was more beneficial for them to acquire this internally rather than to try to, create partnerships with other providers and try to cobble together some sort of a relationship that way to deliver it.
Or to develop something in-house. In fact, they were working on, apparently, on some kind of technology in-house that would address this connectivity and configuration kind of issue. And like I indicated before, they haven't done a lot of acquisitions in the past, but they looked at this particular company and its intellectual property and decided that they could sort of leapfrog ahead. They could accelerate the process of adding that kind of technology to their portfolio by buying this company. So it's a different kind of move for them, but a potentially strategic one. I should say they hint at other plans for these OmniNet products. They won't get very specific at all about what they have in mind. But what they're doing now is sort of the beginning of what they have in mind, that there is a roadmap basically for where they think they can go now that they have their own SASE platform in-house. So it'll be interesting to see how this evolves too. Well, let's move on to your tip of the week here, Eric. And, we're talking about an acquisition that could be used in multiple ways. But I think this week want to talk about maybe just sticking with one thing when you're dealing with customers.
Yes, Rich. Good segue. So, again, just recent conversations with some clients I'm working with, and finding the need to clarify presenting services to clients, right? Working with their sales teams and things like that, and clarifying, the intent when we put together and standardize on a suite of services, a portfolio of services, and we bundle those into a good, better, best type of a offering in order to make it easier for clients to consume, to allow us to maintain our standardization and eliminate some of that picking and choosing, right? That menu item of options approach that some clients are used to potentially. So the tip of the week is, when you've got those bundles, the intention is that you create bundles that can serve the majority, if not all, of your clients, right? There's always some outliers where you might decide, okay, I'll customize something a little different for this client, but it should not be the day-to-day operational, roadmap to do that. So when you've got your bundles, you're going to build them. You're going to allow clients. Now, this is the other, piece of this that I wanted to mention. Just because we're creating bundles and we're offering them to our clients does not mean that we let the client just willy-nilly pick. Look, here's what we got, pick A, B, or C. That's not the way this is supposed to work in a consultative sales approach. Now, just from the position of we don't sell anything, we try to help a client and address a need or a pain, right? We're creating these bundles in a way that we feel meets their needs within their stated budget. But when we present to a client, let's say that they say, well, I've got this budget range that I can work with, and we have a bundle that fits within that budget range. But I would be remiss if I didn't also inform that client of our other offerings, our other higher price bundles that have more value, features, and benefits to allow them to consider them, right? So I will say, here, hey, Rich, I know we put together this bundle. It's within your stated budget range, but I also wanted to let you know about these other uh, options that we have that offer more value, more features and benefits, just so that you're aware. The last thing that you want to do is have a competitor come to your client and say, oh, well, we're a cybersecurity company and we offer, incident response and remediation. And you have that in one of your bundles that you didn't share with your client, right? So two things, you've kind of prevented that client from considering a higher price bundle, number one, and you've not informed them that that exists, so that when that other person comes knocking, they'll remember, oh yeah, you also offer that, and they'll, stay with you, hopefully. So just a couple of things there to think about. Stick with what you standardize on, bundle it to make it easier to sell initially and give your client the option to upgrade at that point of sale. And then also later on, as you work with them, you can also upsell them much more easily rather than trying to piecemeal additional little solutions along the way through that client lifetime.
And the piece of that particularly resonates with me is the standardization piece of that, because as we talk to MSPs and particularly high growth MSPs at ChannelPro, we find that the things they have in common, we sometimes refer to as the 3 S's, and that's specialization, scale, building a business that's ready to scale, and standardization, which is, having a limited set of offerings and not departing from that limited set of offerings. The more you can standardize, the more profitable you can be, the faster you can grow. And so, yeah, I'm totally on board with that idea. You need to have bundles. You need to stick with them. Don't piecemeal them. Don't line out items or negotiate that. And then to your second point, have more than one and make sure the customer is always available of the alternatives.
Exactly. It helps.
Well, that leaves us with time for just one more story this week, folks. And cow urine. Cow urine, ladies and gentlemen, you wouldn't necessarily think this is a big problem, but it turns out it's more of a problem than those of us who don't live on a farm realize. You take the nitrogen in cow urine and you mix it with cow feces and you get ammonia. That's a greenhouse gas. It has implications for water pollution. Boy, if you could really just sort of get the cow urine problem contained, localized, it would be a great thing for the farmer and for the environment. But how do you do that exactly? Well, why not just potty train your cows? And it turns out nobody had really attempted to see if this was possible before until some researchers in New Zealand at the University of Auckland went about doing exactly that. They conducted an experiment and it involved basically getting the cows to associate what the researchers call the moo-loo, the little cow bathroom, get them to mentally associate that with a sweet little treat that they would place there. And if the cow kind of did go to the bathroom in the right place, they would get the treat. If they went in the wrong place, they would get sort of a cold spray of water on the face. And by golly, eventually, these cows did learn how to, these cows were potty trained. And by the way, it took less time to potty train the cows than it does to train children in human children in the 2 to 4 year old range. So not only can you potty train cows, you can do it more easily than you probably took you to potty train your own kids.
Two images come to mind, Rich, immediately. It's like, the cow outside the moo-loo, waiting there with their legs crossed and kind of standing there, hurry up, Mildred, I gotta go. And the second image is, a parent spraying their child in the face when they don't go to the bathroom correctly. Not a good strategy, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. The incentive part of the plan, okay, but please don't apply the cow potty training techniques to children. Not a good idea. Well, that is all the time we've got this week on the show, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching the video right now, we are also a traditional audio podcast these days. You will find us on Spotify and Google and Apple and all the places you get podcasts. Please look us up, subscribe, take the extra second or two if you like the show and give us a 5-star rating. It's going to help other people find the show more easily. If you are listening to the podcast, you can check us out on video by going to YouTube and looking for the ChannelPro Network channel there. If you become a subscriber, you can get the new episodes as they become available. In fact, if you click the bell icon, you will even be notified when the new episodes go up. To read more about Citracom buying OmniNet, more about industry news and trends, and to get all sorts of great information you can use to grow your business, please visit ChannelProNetwork.com. Every day you will find new content going up there every day. To learn more about Eric and the work he does with his clients, your destination should be ErickSimpson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. Once again, we thank you for joining us. We're going to be back in a week with another episode for you. Until then, folks, please enjoy the rest of your week. Eric and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.